We have myself, Kevin O'Toole, Len Auger, Mike O'Connor, and Mayor Clayton. Call the order, and I'm looking for an adoption of the agenda. Right here.
I move for the adoption of the agenda.
Thank you. All in favor?
Yep.
Okay. So today that is carried. We have no delegations, but we have 2 verbal reports, and we'll move to item 4.1, the service area update.
Good morning, Chair O'Toole and committee members. So this morning I'd like to talk a little bit about community engagement. So our peace officer group assisted with the Downtown Association's Halloween parade and also attended the Safety City to hand out Halloween treats to the kids and youth that attended those community events. As well as the peace officers also participated in the 2025 Remembrance Day ceremony. And just an update, the Enforcement Services Traffic Unit is now fully staffed with 8 officers and doing their duties throughout the community. On mobile outreach, in the third quarter, there was just over 4,100 needles were safely collected and disposed of it properly as well. Just over 3,400 of those were collected during proactive needle sweeps conducted throughout the city. So it's good they're taking proactive steps in that regard. There was 92 encampments that were responded to by mobile outreach. So the team is actively engaged with individuals and they connected them to resources and caseworkers and also facilitated the timely cleanup. And that was a joint effort between Enforcement Services and Park staff as well. Switching over to the RCMP, on November 10th at about 1:30 in the afternoon, both the City RCMP as well as City Police responded to an incident. It was a domestic violence investigation. Both services were involved in a pursuit that resulted in the suspect's vehicle rolling over. The suspect exited their vehicle with a weapon and began firing, at which point one of the police officers discharged their service weapon as well, striking the subject. The subject was transported to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, and fortunately none of the police officers involved were injured during the incident. And so a good news story here, the Grande Prairie RCMP are going to be participating in a food drive to collect non-perishable food items for those in need, and those in turn will be donated to the Salvation Army in Grande Prairie. The food drive will take place on November 22nd and 23rd from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Save On Foods grocery store. And the RCMP would also like to acknowledge the departure of Corporal Gavin Oul from the Community Engagement Unit. Corporal Oul has been a driving force behind many of the outreach programs in the community, strengthening the connection between the RCMP and our residents. He's done a lot of work in the schools, at community events and partnership initiatives as well. And it's all in support of youth engagement, community education, and building trust between the police and the public. Switching over to recreation, another exciting event coming up. It's the second Dive-In movie theater night. So registration is now open, and the event takes place on November 28th. The movie that will be featured is Jurassic World Rebirth. And we also have an enhanced sound system now, so it'll be an even better experience than the first experience. And so we're encouraging residents to sign up, or whoever would like to. They don't have to be necessarily a resident of the city, of course, but and just go to the website to sign up. With events and programming, there's 2 major shows that were just announced. So country superstar Lee Brice, and as well as modern rock icons 3 Days Grace, will both be hitting the stage in Grande Prairie in April of 2026. So tickets are on sale now at Bennett's as well as online. And I've been told they're moving quickly. So if you're interested in attending those events, you better make a purchase. And with Christmas coming up, maybe a good Christmas gift idea. And the City of Grande Prairie and the Downtown Association will host the annual Christmas tree lighting event on November 30th at H.A. Rice Plaza at Bennett's Energy Center. The event begins at 4 p.m. with the tree being lit by Mayor Clayton at 4:35 p.m. Then following that event, it's the annual Battle of Badge charity hockey game. Puck drop is at 5 p.m. at Bonet's Energy Center Arena. And then my final item, Mr. Chair, is under Housing and Community Development. The city is reopening its youth microgrants program. So grants up to $750 will be available for youth and young adults aged 15 to 30 to support employment and training opportunities. And more information will be available on this on the city's website and social media this week as well. And then the final item is the Grande Prairie Local Immigration Partnership and the Immigrant Advisory Table have partnered with Northwest Polytech to host an information session. It's called Connect and Grow, Pathways to Education for Newcomers and Immigrants. And that'll be on December 17th. And again, further details will be posted on the city's event calendar. And that's my report, Mr. Chair, unless there's any questions.
Thank you very much. Jaws wasn't one of the movies that they're going to pick for the pool,
Not so far, but maybe in the future.
Well, you never know. Look around. I don't see anybody that's... Oh, I see Councillor O'Connor. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair O'Toole. I wanted to say it's sad to see that Corporal Hoole is leaving us. He has been in all my encounters with him over the last couple of years. He's been an excellent representative of all the high schools and stuff, so we're going to miss him. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments. You can put your hand down. All right, we'll move on to item 4.2, proposal to establish the Housing and Homeless Advisory Committee, formerly CAB, as Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Want to lead us into this?
Thanks, Chair O'Toole. So this morning we have Ms. Wenzel to do a report on the Housing and Homelessness Advisory Committee. So I'll just turn it over to Ms. Wenzel.
Good morning. Today I'm bringing forward a recommendation to establish the Housing and Homelessness Advisory Committee as a formal committee of council through an amendment to Bylaw C-1422. The proposed structure builds on the existing Community Advisory Board on Homelessness, or CAB, which the city maintains as a requirement under the federal Reaching Homes program. CAB has provided advisory support for many years, but it currently operates outside a formal council governance framework. Transitioning CAB into a bylaw established committee strengthens that framework. It raises the visibility of the city's housing and homelessness work and reinforces our commitment to transparent, coordinated, and community-informed decision-making. It also improves alignment between council's strategic priorities and what is happening on the ground with our local housing and coordinated access system. Under this proposal, the new Housing and Homelessness Advisory Committee would continue to meet all federal requirements while supporting a more defined systems-level planning and policy alignment. The committee would help identify gaps, challenges, and opportunities, review local data and program outcomes, and support engagement with community partners. All of this would occur within a clear governance structure that supports council and administration's decision-making. The details of the mandate, membership, and responsibilities are outlined in the administrative report. In summary, the committee would include representation from council, Indigenous partners, sector organizations, and housing and business communities, and individuals with lived experience, supported by non-voting members from administration, policing, and other levels of government. Overall, establishing the Housing and Homelessness Advisory Committee as a committee of council strengthens the city's ability to receive coordinated, evidence-informed advice. While the committee's role remains advisory, it provides a structure, way to bring forward systems gaps, emerging issues, and potential solutions that support council and administration as we continue to advance housing and homelessness priorities. Thank you. I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much, Ms. Wenzel, for your report. Looking around, I see no questions at this time. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Ogier.
Well, good morning.
Morning.
It's good to see you. So I do have some thoughts. I really like what you're doing. I think that's great. And as you're well aware, I am the current chair of CAB, and my time is up. So I'll be bringing it up at the CAB meeting on Thursday. But just to ensure that we still maintain Indigenous representation on the City CAB committee, which you call the Homeless. I can't even remember the title now. Anyway, so that's what I was going to bring up at the CAB meeting, and just to maintain that I think it's all part of reconciliation that you're doing that, and I think that's important that we maintain it. Also, the other voice that we had brought in about 5 years ago was the voice for the voiceless, and this is lived experience people, and also to maintain somebody from that group, which Bernard does right now. And so those two things I wanted to bring up so that we also ensure we maintain those two priority type areas for the committee as designated. And you're well aware, I think we also had talked about reducing the number at one time about CAB participation. And I was for that because I think because we lost the OSSI funding, there wasn't really that much of a need for really determining where funding goes. There is a lot of, I'm assuming that the new process will also maintain the reaching home requirements. They have a lot of requirements. I can't remember, it was probably about 9 pages long of all the requirements that need to be done as part of reaching home. So we need to ensure those are in place too.
Thank you for the comments. All of those are taken into consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. I move to Jackie Clayton. Mayor Clayton, would you have a question?
Thanks for that. More of a comment. I look forward to supporting this to go to council for further discussion. Personally, I don't, but at a council conversation, I won't be supporting this initiative. I don't think that two council representatives on a committee that chooses or has recommendations for all of council in regards to spending and supporting programs within other organizations in our community is a good use of council members' time. I do appreciate and support the other members as recommended in the report, but my conversation when this comes to council will be around the council members and what's appropriate. Thanks.
Thanks for your comments.
Thank you for the comment.
Back up here with Mike O'Connor. Councillor O'Connor.
Yes, thank you very much. I really felt that the involvement of council members, although we were only advisory before, we were not a voting member, and I think we bring some value to this committee. And also on the representative and public at large, preferably with lived experience, I think there still needs to be a community member that needs to be involved in this. And then also non-voting members, I think there should be some organizations that are involved so that they can have that input. And the last thing I'd like to see is what is the actual purpose? What are they trying to accomplish by forming this committee to be able to come and advise the council? And I think it's important that we focus on what the issues are. We sit down and plan what the issues are and what focus and purpose can we bring so we can solve some of these issues. So I think there is some merit having more discussion in this part. So, Tammy, do you feel that this will fit in that or not? I know the mayor thinks that council members shouldn't be on here, but I felt we...
That's not what I said. Sorry, I said they shouldn't be voting members.
Okay. Well, I was not a voting member last time, and I had a lot to say, and so it's one I disagree with, and that's my opinion based on that. So my question to Tammy is, do you see any potential changes affecting what you're trying to accomplish?
Through the chair, thank you for the question. Are you asking if I see that having council as voting members versus non-voting members as the, are you?
Yes, as one. And the second one is having more input from a general member of the public. And there's a couple of people on the committee I think would have a valuable input on that. And lastly was input from some of the organizations, seeing as how the province is funding these organizations directly. I think they should be included in the people that would be advisory to that committee.
Through the chair. So in the administration report, Councillor O'Connor, we have outlined kind of the voting members versus the non-voting members. I guess the voting members can definitely be debated and looked at further. We can definitely add and take your suggestions back to add those in. We did when we looked at, we did a mini jurisdictional scan of 2 other municipalities that have to have CAB as a federal requirement. And we did look at kind of the members that they had, the membership. And this is where most of the membership has landed with the other municipalities. But again, any of the voting members and versus the non-voting members and who's there can definitely be debated further.
Okay, thank you.
Can I add something?
Hang on. Mayor Clayton's first. Mayor Clayton, you had your hand up?
You muted.
Thanks for that. Yeah, I'm not here to debate with Councillor O'Connor on this. I do support the motion, or would be willing to make a motion to send this to council for consideration. And speaking to the motion, I think this is a conversation for all of council to have. I think that having council members on this for input is valuable. And just because you're a non-voting member doesn't mean you wouldn't get an opportunity to share your opinions. This is an advisory committee which would bring recommendations to all of council for consideration. The concern I have is around council members having input on funding decisions. And so, and we can talk about that when all of council is involved. But for now, I'd just like to put forward this motion. Thanks.
Okay. Councillor Auger.
Yeah, I just wanted to echo what Wendy? Tammy? Okay. Been so many changes over the last while. I really feel the current level of representation is also part of CAB already. There is actually 12 voting members, or there was, and they represent many different categories or designations that are on the CAB voting committee right now. And I think we need to maintain that concept where we have good representation from the primary organizations that utilize reaching home funding. That was my comment.
Thank you for that. Mayor Clayton, there's a motion to be made. Would you like to make that motion now?
It's already got my name on it in the e-scribe. It's already been made.
Perfect. And I'll just go through the motion so people that can hear. Committee recommend council direct administration to bring forward an amendment to bylaw C 1422 to establish the Housing and Homelessness Advisory Committee as a committee of council. And with that out, we'll call for the vote. Councillor O'Connor, are you going to vote today?
Yeah, it wouldn't let me in, so it's not on my screen, so I'm in favor.
How about a verbal?
I'm in favor.
There you go. Thank you very much. And that carries unanimously, and we'll move on. There's no correspondence. There's no other business. Outstanding items list.
All right. Thanks, Chair O'Toole. So just one item on the list, 1384 is the number. If we can please extend that one to Q1 of 2026. I've checked with Ms. Napier, and she would like a little bit more time to complete the report.
Sounds good. Looking for someone to make a motion to accept the outstanding items list. I guess Michael Connor just make it. Yep, go ahead.
Yep. I'd like to move committee receive the November outstanding items list as amended for information.
All right, we'll call on the motion. And that passes unanimously. And with that, thank you very much for all that attendance. And that's a wrap. Thank you.